Hey there, real estate agents. My name is Michael Elliott, CPA and co-founder at The Agents Accountant, and want to talk today about how real estate agents should pay themselves. Now, this is a question we get asked all the time because, as we all know, real estate agents, the income, right, the gross commission income tends to fluctuate from month to month depending on how many closings we've got. So agents are often asking, how should I actually compensate myself? Like, how should I think about moving money from the business to my personal account? Well, there's a couple of different things that we have to think about. And the first thing we have to think about is, how is my business structured from a tax perspective? If you're structured as an S corporation, we likely need to be compensating ourselves at least partially using payroll, right? Using W-2 payroll, cutting ourselves an actual paycheck, withholding taxes, Social Security, and Medicare, all of the above, right? If we're an S corporation. Now, if you're not an S corporation, maybe you're a single member LLC, you still got your business in an LLC, maybe you're a sole proprietorship, just acting and operating under your own personal name. In that case, we're not issuing ourselves a direct paycheck. We're probably cutting ourselves some kind of a distribution check, maybe some kind of a draw from the business. We're taking cash out of our business account to pay ourselves personally. We're doing something like that. So as a real estate agent, first thing we need to think about is, how is my business structured from a tax perspective, right? If you're an S corporation, here's what the IRS requires. The IRS requires that the owners, the officers of a corporation pay themselves a, quote, reasonable salary each year. Now, here's the fun part. They don't define reasonable salary, right? So there's a lot of vagueness there. There's some tax court cases we can look at, but you and your CPA, your tax accountant, your tax professionals, you guys can look together to see if you can figure out and calculate reasonable compensation. There's some tools out there that you can get to do that, but you got to calculate reasonable compensation, and then you got to be paying yourself that reasonable compensation each year. So as an S corporation, you're going to be cutting yourself a W-2 paycheck, right? Withholding taxes for the amount of reasonable compensation each year. Sometimes we look and say, okay, what if reasonable compensation is $60,000, right? It's $5,000 a month. We'll cut that in monthly installments. We'll use a payroll software. We'll have a payroll company do a $5,000 paycheck per month and withhold taxes and the whole thing. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just to pay yourself at the end of the year. Maybe you're cutting yourself a $60,000 check at the end of the year. Some agents like doing that. Maybe it's quarterly. You're doing 15 grand a quarter. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different options and ways in which we can pay ourselves as an S corporation. But the most important thing to remember is that part of what we're paying ourselves has to go through payroll as reasonable compensation. Now, maybe, let's say hypothetically, you need $10,000 a month to live. You and your CPA, your accountant, have decided that $60,000 a year, $5,000 a month is enough of reasonable compensation. So we know we got $5,000 a month that needs to be paid out as W-2 payroll. But then the other $5,000 a month that you need personally, you could just take that as draws, a distribution out of the business. Cut yourself a check, make an ACH from the business account, move the money from your business account to your personal account. That's how we would handle paying ourselves as an S corporation. Now, if you're not an S corporation, a lot of real estate agents are not S corporations, or they haven't yet become an S corporation. What you're doing in that case is you're just simply transferring money from the business account to your personal. You can cut yourself a check. You can make an ACH or a wire from the business account to your personal account. But what we're doing every month is we're transferring that amount of money from the business to the personal account. Now, our recommendation for agents is to set some sort of a minimum salary. We like to pick an amount that you need kind of to cover your normal living operating expenses on a monthly basis. Let's say it's $10,000 a month. And we encourage agents, even if maybe closings are a little bit slow this month, maybe they're even better this month, to always be paying ourselves that minimum amount of salary or draw or distribution, depending on how you're taxed, each month, moving that from the business to your personal account. It really helps agents to get in the mindset of, hey, I'm a business owner. I deserve to be paid. I'm going to pay myself first. Moving that money from one account to the other helps us get into that habit. Then, of course, if you need extra money throughout the year, you can pay yourself bonuses. You can cut yourself a bonus check. If you are an S corporation doing W-2 payroll, you can do extra tax payments. There's all sorts of fun and creative things that you can do. But at the end of the day, our encouragement is for all agents to find that consistent monthly amount that you need to live personally and move that regardless of whether you're an S corporation or a single member LLC or you're just a sole proprietor, move that money from the business account to your personal account. Get in the habit of doing that. Spend that money personally. And then if you need more, it's there in the business. So that's our encouragement for all agents. If you got questions on how to calculate that reasonable compensation as an S corporation, converting to an S corporation, feel free to reach out to us. We can either help you or give you a referral for someone else who might help you, maybe some resources in which you can calculate those things